Okay, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with this, and this is probably the final segment of the podcast anyway. But this thread came up sometime back, and it was simply, new player needed class. A guy's asking about which class would be the most fun to play, which class might he most enjoy playing, and he has a penchant for healers, right? So if he's primarily interested in playing a healer, and he wants to play on order, which of course he says right there, he's ideally on order. My advice would be, as much as I hate to say it, play a Rune Priest.
You don't say!
For strictly healing abilities, Rune Priest I think are the best that order has to offer. And next up would be a Warrior Priest. Warrior Priests are of course the hybrid on the order side of fighter magic user kind of guys, for that's a Dungeons and Dragons term for those of you who used to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Now, when last we left you, you were at the Inn of the North Star in the town of Isildur. How do you begin your adventure?
I want to get some bitches.
And you can have a lot of fun, I hear, with the Warrior Priest. I mean, I've heard some people talk about the fact that you can, at times, potentially have fun playing a Warrior Priest. A few people have gotten good at it over the years. And then there's the Archmage, the ever-present and ever-lovable Archmage, which my advice on playing an Archmage has always been the same, that if you're going to play one, play DPS, man, because you can still heal, but you'll have a lot more fun just playing a DPS Archmage than you will a strictly healing Archmage, because healing Archmages they're like playing a class while wearing concrete boots.
Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. Shit.
So, first choice, Rune Priest. They are the most effective order healer. For destruction, play a Doc. They're the most fun. Chamois are just ridiculous. They have every tool in their toolkit that you could possibly ever imagine that would make your class better, and they're all there. So, it's a GIMP class. In other words, a blind 2-year-old could play it and be successful. So, play a Doc because they're just the most fun. Now, for other classes, as you can see here, another thread came up where a guy says, solo Knight of the Blazing Sun. Is that a good idea? Well, my response to that is, whether or not it's a good idea, that's not the question you should be asking. That's not what really matters. What matters is, how do you best want to enjoy the game? If you can be successful, if you think you can be successful playing a solo Knight of the Blazing Sun, then by all means, do it. And you can see at the bottom, Rady, post number 3, says, pursue your dreams. If you want solo Knight, then go for it. That's my, that's my opinion. If you want to play solo, then play solo. Post number 2 here, honestly, if you want solo tank on order with a big stick, I would advise the Swordmaster. So would I. Knight has no DPS, and Ironbreaker 2-hand is nerfed. Otherwise, you got the Chosen on the Destro side with a similar playstyle, but much superior to the Knight. That's true. Chosen in both specs is actually probably the best tank in the game. But if you want to play solo, a solo tank on order side, I also would suggest playing Swordmaster, and I've done it for years.
You're a monster!
But the bottom line is the same. If you want to play a particular class and you want to play in a particular spec, then by all means, play that particular class, play that particular spec, and don't worry about what everyone else has to say. Okay, don't worry about what everyone else has to say, because you will never. And one thing about playing this game, doesn't matter what class you're playing. And there's one possible exception. I'll talk about that in just a moment. But with this one possible exception, every minute that you try to play your class in a manner to make someone else happy, to please someone else, it's a minute wasted. You're just wasting your time. Nothing is ever going to be enough. For the people in this game who would tell you, you have to play your class this way, you have to play in this spec, you have to play with this setup, they are never going to be satisfied.
That's right! That's right!
It's never going to be enough. No matter what you do, it is never going to be enough. So just screw all that to begin with, and play the class you want to play in the manner that you want to play it, and have fun. My God, this is a video game. You should have fun. Now, the one exception that I found to that rule is Witch Elf, because Witch Elf is the one class in the game that, and I have a rank We're now ranked 86. Yeah, she's 86 now. But Witch Elf is the one class in the game that no one has any real expectations as for how you play it. If you want to be in a group of 2, 3, 4 Witch Elves or whatever, or if you want to be out on your own, I've never had anybody, unlike playing my Swordmaster, I've never had anyone contact me in game all foaming at the mouth and using all kinds of vile language about why are you playing your Witch Elf out on your own. You should be playing a real Witch Elf. You should be playing in the real mode. Who do you think you are? Oh my god. I've never had that playing my Witch Elf, so that's probably the one exception. But there you go. That's my quick and dirty guide to choosing a class. But if you want to stick with healers, Rune Priest is the most effective. Warrior Priest might be a better choice if you actually want to fight in melee combat every now and then. And if you're going to play an Archmage, play DPS because you'll have more fun. Okay, sports fans, thanks for listening this far. And we're almost wrapped up here. We have just a couple of announcements to make, and then the now world famous end credit montage.
Julia Roberts told reporters this week that her marriage to Lyle Lovett has been over for some time. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Julia Roberts and that she was married to Lyle Lovett.